If you're new to the channel and you didn't know, let me go ahead and tell you, I recently finished a 10-year sentence in the South Carolina Department of Corrections. That's the same Department of Corrections that Alex Murdaugh is currently serving his life sentence in. And because of this, I still stay in touch with many inmates who are currently incarcerated in that South Carolina Department of Corrections, and one of those inmates I was able to talk to throughout the past 2 or so days about Alex Murdaugh, and he actually had a lot of information for me about him. Now, this inmate who is speaking to me, who is using a contraband cell phone in prison, these messages, these DMs on Facebook Messenger where we're communicating, I'm going to go ahead and show them to you, but I have blocked out his name and his profile picture in these screenshots because I do need to protect his identity because he could, of course, get in trouble for this if I didn't. So I'm going to take you through these message by message. In some of these, he is using some prison slang. Some of you may not understand it, so I'm going to break down each part of these conversations for you, let you know exactly what they mean, and the insight it gives us on Alex Murdaugh. There's going to be several things covered. Just to give you a quick rundown of what those things will be, that includes, is he shy? Is he more shy and reserved and not wanting to, interact with these inmates, or is he outgoing and social? How is that going for him? What are some activities he's doing day to day in there? Is he walking the line? Is he being squeaky clean, following the rules, or is he breaking a few rules? Does he want to break rules? What does he want to do in there? Does he have any interest in getting his hands on a contraband cell phone, which is one of the biggest hopes and dreams of an inmate in these South Carolina prisons, and it's probably the best pastime you can get in there, and so everyone wants one, but they're very, very expensive, thousands of dollars. I'll go ahead and spoil that for you now. Yes, he absolutely is trying to get one. I'll let you know why and when. So let's get started. So first up, at the very top of this message, it's the tail end of my message. I was basically just reaching out to this man who I've been incarcerated with for many years, and he still has many years to go inside South Carolina Department of Corrections. And I was asking him, hey, are you on McCormick Yard, or do you know anyone on McCormick Yard who's close to Alex or is with Alex and can give me any information or updates about him? And he responded back and he said, I'll let you know, let me call up there right fast. So basically he knows an inmate who is at McCormick Yard, and he's going to call him on his contraband cell phone. He'll call that inmate. That inmate also has a contraband cell phone. Not uncommon at all for many, many inmates in the South Carolina DOC to have contraband cell phones. So it's pretty common to be able to get in touch with people all over the state prison system in South Carolina. So he calls him, and I say, okay, bet, I know he's in PC, but I'm trying to see stuff like, is anybody trying to get at him? Do they want to start any trouble with him? Or, they're just not worried about him, they don't care, or what? So he says, okay, bet, I'll find out something and let you know. And that was June 17th at 3 p.m. So he calls me the next morning, Sunday at 10:08 a.m. I got a missed audio call on Facebook Messenger from him. I was still asleep. I was being lazy. I should have got up. But right after this, he says, yo, I talked to my people on Mactown lockup. Now, Mactown, that's just prison slang. That's what inmates call McCormick, Mactown. And he says Mactown lockup, that's basically the, lockup, solitary confinement, stuff like that. And he says, they say he can get Buddy on the phone if you want. He is on the same side with him. So basically his friend, this inmate's friend, who is on the lockup section at McCormick, says that he's actually over there in the same cell block as Murdaugh. And he says that he could probably even get Alex Murdaugh on the phone with me if I want. So of course I want that. But he says Alex is trying to get online, but they say he's going to have to, or he says he wants to wait until after his appeals. I got a scope on him though, bro. Let me know what's up. So basically what he's saying here, he says Alex is trying to get online, and that's slang again for he wants to get a cell phone. That's what you say when you're in prison and you get a cell phone. You're able to buy one. You're not renting one or borrowing one. You have bought a contraband cell phone and it's all yours. You're saying, I'm online now. Hey, I'm online. Hey, get my number. I'm online. And if you get your phone caught, maybe the search team goes in your cell and shakes down and they find it, and you lose your phone, you'll probably say, hey man, don't, if you're trying to reach me, don't call that number you got for me. I'm offline. Yeah, they got me last night. I'm offline. So basically he says he wants to get online. He wants to get a contraband cell phone, but he wants to wait until after his appeals. So number one, I think it's interesting that Alex wants to get a contraband cell phone. He's already expressed to this inmate that he wants to get one. Let me tell you something. He has to have money coming in. Maybe it's his money. Maybe it's money that no one knows about. I mean, of course, it would have to be money no one knows about if it is solely his money. Or it's money coming from, I don't know, a family member, Buster, a friend, or some connection he has. He has to have money coming in. Because cell phones, at a minimum, and I trust me on this, I bought at least 5 to 10 of them throughout my decade in prison. At a minimum, you're going to get a very cheap contraband cell phone for $2,500, and I've even seen them go for as much as $5,000, $5,500. And it's also interesting that he says, but he doesn't want to get a contraband cell phone until after he's done dealing with his appeals. And so it tells me, of course, he's hopeful that maybe he will win his appeals, and until all that is done and the dust is settled on that, he wants to kind of just be clean. I don't want to break any rules. I don't want to dip my hands in any contraband. So he may not be getting high. That's just, I'm assuming that part. It just sounds like he doesn't really want to risk having any more trouble. He doesn't want to have anything come up before he can get through these appeals, because he's really focused on that. But he is being realistic in the sense that he may lose these appeals. It's very possible. And if he does lose and he does have to spend the rest of his life sentence in South Carolina prisons, he's decided he wants to get a cell phone. He wants to live that life and all the stuff that comes with having a contraband cell phone, possibly getting robbed for it. There are some violent people who don't have any money, who desperately want a phone. It's the most valuable thing you can have in these South Carolina prisons. Even if you don't get robbed, you can get caught and very easily by the prison staff. And if you get caught, there's some disciplinaries that come with that, possibly time in solitary confinement, which he should be used to by now. But whole bunch of junk that comes with the lifestyle of having a contraband cell phone. But he's decided that's what he wants to do if he has to stay there the rest of his life. Moving on, let's put up another screenshot of the rest of the conversation. So real quick, I say, oh, word. So this guy that is saying he can get Alex Murdaugh himself on the phone with me, or what? I just want to clarify and be sure on that, because that would be great. And so I say, I'll look out if you can make it happen. Just let me know exactly what to do. And I tried to call him back. He didn't answer right then, but he messaged me back and he says, I can get him on the phone. And I say, okay, when do you think you can set that up for? So he immediately calls me right here at the bottom. You see, we had a phone call and that lasted about 4 minutes. And basically what we talked about was, he kind of reiterated that, Alex wants to get a phone himself. It's just not going to be anytime soon because he wants to wait until after the appeals. And he could probably get him on the phone with me. This guy that he knows who's in the same cell block will let Alex get on his phone and talk to me. So I said, just logically thinking, are you sure Alex will even do that? He's probably a shy guy. Would he even go into the cell if this guy called him in there and gives him a phone and says, here, this guy wants to talk to you? Would he even really do that? Wouldn't he be too shy to do that? And he said, shy? He said, man, I've been talking with my buddy, that guy, Alex Murdaugh. He is not shy. He's out there every day talking to people, playing spades, gambling, just like we heard him doing in these, these leaked phone calls of him in the county jail, back a year or so ago. He said, man, he's not shy at all. He's out there just doing what inmates do. So that is another interesting point there. Doesn't seem like he's just kind of standing against the wall all day, scared to talk to anyone. He's out there just getting right in the mix and talking and mingling with people and playing his little activities. So I said, okay, I understand that it is a risky thing. If, he even, we talked about maybe getting a video or a picture of Alex, anything this guy could get, because that would be great. That's what we want to see. But the trick is he would have to take it, commonly it would be taken from this inmate's cell. And I know that the prison staff would be able to look at that and kind of judge based on where Alex is at in this video and what's right behind him, kind of the angle that's being recorded from. They would kind of be able to figure out which cell this video was recorded from, and that would put this inmate at risk. So that we were really just kind of going over how he would even be able to do that, or what time of day, where he would have to do it from, and things like that. So kind of trying to work that out to where we can get that of Alex for everyone, but also still protect this inmate, because he's not going to want to put himself at risk. Understandable. So moving on, this is how the rest of the conversation went. So as you see here, I messaged him this morning. I said, hey, did he get back at you? Asking about his buddy who's with AlexMurdaugh, and he says, yeah, last night he did. I got to hit him back in a few. So I said, all right. And about 11:53, I just wanted to get a little more information about where exactly Murdaugh is. So I said, hey, so is this guy that is he on that lockup for DD, which stands for disciplinary detention? And Alex is just on that same lockup for SD, which is security detention. And if you don't know, you can be on lockup, the solitary confinement wing, for DD or SD, either one. And they are mixed together on that same hallway in their isolation cells. So I'm just kind of wondering, is that the reason that these two guys are together? How is that possible? Or is it like, are both of them actually in the full-fledged protective custody unit? And he goes on to say it's a program unit that these two guys are in. And then he also says, I just hit him up and asked him what's up, what's going on, what's the update on getting either a phone call or a video or picture of AlexMurdaugh. And he said that basically what's the holdup is there's prison guards, corrections officers, as well as counselors, especially on these specific wings, these units of the prison. There are counselors that come around and meet with each inmate and just kind of talk to them for a second about their what's going on with them, when are they going to get off of this program, how long they've been on this program, things like that. And you may even have the nurses. The nurses are going to come around and see the inmates who are supposed to get medication, and there's a lot of officials walking around this unit at any given time, and it's hard for him to kind of calculate and time this opportunity right to where he can do something that he's essentially not supposed to be doing because it's a contraband cell phone. So that's the holdup on that at the moment. But it's interesting that he says they're in a program unit. So I said, whoa. That doesn't sound like protective custody. I need to know, what is this program unit that AlexMurdaugh is in? So I ask him that. And you see here, I say, wait, so Alex is in a program now? What the heck? And he basically responds and says, I got you, bro. I would have been approached Alex if it was me there, if it wasn't my buddy and it was all up to me and I was there with Alex. I would have immediately pulled up on him. I don't care who's there. I don't care what, when, why, how, or who. And I would have gotten what you need, because, me knowing this guy, he's one of the more assertive and aggressive inmates who, usually most inmates are just going to go right along with whatever he says when he tells you to do something. That's just the kind of guy he is, knowing him. But after that, he kind of responds to my question about the program, and he said it's step down program. And you see, I go, oh, okay, because at that point it all makes sense. I know exactly what the step down program is. You can even Google it yourself if you'd like, if you don't want to take my word for it, but I know what it is because I've been in the step down program myself. So let me tell you exactly what's going on and where has AlexMurdaugh now found himself. So the step down program, that's for example, in my case, I was sent to solitary confinement for DD, for disciplinary detention, not security detention. I was sent there for 30 days because I got caught with a cell phone 3 times. And on my 3rd time getting caught with a cell phone, they decided I need to go to solitary confinement. So I spent about 30 days there. Usually, when you're serving a certain amount of time in solitary confinement, you leave your cell pretty much. You're only going to leave your cell in handcuffs, shackles on your hands and your feet to go to the shower and come back one at a time, escorted by an officer. So you're never really out. You're always in your cell. But somewhere during your last week, if you've been good, if you haven't caused any trouble, some inmates like to throw stuff out of the flaps at guards, maybe feces or urine or food. Some people like to flood their cells with the toilet. They like to stuff stuff down there and flush just to cause trouble. I don't know why some guys do it, but they do. If you haven't caused any issues like that, they will say, hey, you are ready to go to the step down program. And I guess they call it that because it's a step down from the solitary confinement isolation cell, but it's not exactly going back into general population yet. You can finish out your last week, half a week, whatever, in this step down program. And it's a little better than full-fledged solitary confinement. You're still in your cell a lot of the time, but about 4 to 5 hours every day. Everyone on the step-down program is let out of their cells, whether you're up there for security detention or disciplinary detention, doesn't matter. Everyone's let out of their cells, and they can mingle a little bit. And I guess this is the time that Alex has had where he's playing cards and spades like that inmate said he was. He's not shy. He's out there doing little activities and socializing with inmates. Another thing, that's your time to kind of get in the shower. You can go ahead and get in the shower. You don't have to be escorted, so that's happening. Also, you're able to order commissary, canteen, whereas you're not on full-fledged solitary confinement. So in the step-down program, he is getting food. He's getting commissary. He's able to get that. So yeah, it is a good bit different, but the main thing is he's being let out of his cell to socialize. Now, usually people stay here for the last week or two of their solitary confinement sentence. And the thing is, Alex, it seems they've just put him there indefinitely as, kind of this makeshift form of protective custody. He's not finishing out his last week or 2 weeks on disciplinary solitary confinement. He's up there for a protective reason, so he's just kind of gonna stay in that step down program. Okay, so he'll kind of get to stay there for however long they're going to keep him on in this protective state. That could be, I would say, judging by how long it's been since he got sent to his actual yard from Kirkland, maybe another 4.5 to 5 months before he goes up for his review to where they will have to take him off with protective custody. So for the next few months, that's probably where he's going to be. He'll see a lot of people come and a lot of people go because most people up there who aren't in these special circumstances like Alex Murdaugh, the guy who's all over the news, they're just there to finish out their last week, 2 weeks, week and a half. So he'll see a lot come, he'll see a lot go, but he's going to be there for quite a while, and that's not such a bad setup. He's got a nice little cell in the step down program. It's really not that bad. You get just about all the privileges. You just don't get to come out for as much and for long of a period of time as in general population. But he's still around a wide array of inmates. And what's very interesting is he's even around, like I said, it's a mix of SD and DD. And most people in this step down program are going to be people who are in solitary for a disciplinary reason. So you're really mixing him in with the troublemakers. These are the guys who got caught breaking the rules, and now they're going through their punishment, and they're at the final step, the step down program, and they're finishing that last week or so up and then going back into general population. Hope you don't get in trouble again, because you'll have to go through that all over again. But these are the guys getting caught fighting, caught with a knife, caught with a phone, caught bringing in drugs, caught smoking drugs, caught doing things you're not supposed to do. These are the guys who are coming through, and he's already socializing and mingling and even expressing to one, or possibly more, but at least one of them that, hey, I've even got plans to get my hands on a several $1,000 very expensive cell phone if things don't go my way after the appeals. So that's the information I have on Murdaugh and how his life is going currently. As for being able to talk to him on the phone, I plan to do that very soon. As you saw, that these communications have still taken place today. This is still ongoing. I'm still waiting for a message back. We are trying to set this up and coordinate this. If I can get a phone call, a video of him, a video call would be great, or just a picture, something. I'm trying to get my hands on anything for you guys, so trust me on that. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because I don't think you're going to want to miss what I am able to get my hands on. Thanks for watching.